Next story is from Brazil, the land of coffee, samba and football. In 2 days from now, Brazil is going to polls, the most crucial polls in recent history. Why do I say this? Because Brazil is a South American powerhouse. It has the biggest economy in the region, with the largest gross domestic product. So what happens here will have an impact on the rest of the region too. For instance, on countries like Mexico, Argentina, Colombia and Chile. So if we go by conventional wisdom, the fate of all these countries happens to be intertwined with Brazil. Now that's one reason. Another reason is the kind of attention these elections are gathering at the moment. The presidential battle is not just playing out within the country, but also in other parts of the world, with many global artists and celebrities extending their support to the candidates. Now, let me be honest, this is quite unheard of. So in the next 3 minutes, we'll try to understand the reasons behind this and tell you what's at stake in these elections. Let's now start with some FAQs. When are the elections? This Sunday, the 2nd of October. How many people are registered to vote? More than 156 million. What is the minimum voting age? 16 years. How many seats will the elections be held on? All 513 seats in the Chamber of Deputies, the lower house of Brazil. In addition, 27 out of 81 seats in the Federal Senate, which is the upper house of Brazil. How will the elections be held? In 2 rounds. The first round is this Sunday. If no candidate gets a majority, there will be another round on October 30th. And lastly, how many candidates are contesting? A total of 11. But the main battle clearly is between 2 political heavyweights, the incumbent president Jair Bolsonaro and former president Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. Bolsonaro needs no introduction. He's a right-wing former military officer who has ruled Brazil since 2019. Da Silva, on the other hand, is a left-wing political leader. He was Brazil's president from 2003 to 2010. Now, if you look at their track record separately, Bolsonaro has often been called the Donald Trump of the tropics, a strong man who believes in speaking his mind. And unlike many Brazilian politicians, Bolsonaro's track record is currently clean. He has never been charged with corruption. That said, Bolsonaro is also a polarizing figure, to say the least. His policies on the environment, his views on homosexuality, and his science-defying statements, they've all often put him at the receiving end of people's ire. His track record during the pandemic, plus Brazil's flailing economy, have further dimmed his prospects. His opponent, meanwhile, let's talk about him, Da Silva. He's seen as a mature statesman by many. He enjoyed great public support during his time in office. He also implemented several policies that propelled an economic boom in Brazil. It's something the voters are eyeing. That said, Da Silva has often been accused of corruption. He has been charged with money laundering on some occasions. He has even been sentenced to prison by Brazilian courts. But last we checked, most charges against him had been dropped. So who among the two has the edge? If we go by opinion polls, Da Silva is leading. His polling aggregation stands at 46.7%. Bolsonaro is trailing at just 40.2%. The results for other opinion polls have been more or less the same. So what explains Da Silva's lead? Well, it could be anti-incumbency, or perhaps his campaign. It has managed to get support from a lot of A-listers. Take a look at the headlines on your screen now. A host of renowned Brazilian artists are doing Da Silva's bidding. Even global stars like Mark Ruffalo and Roger Waters have backed his campaign. And here we thought that general elections were a country's internal matter. Coming back to Bolsonaro now, he may be trailing in the polls, but he could still spring up a surprise, given the kind of political stunts that he's pulled off or is pulling off. Case in point, this video he shared recently, a video of an endorsement from none other than football star Neymar. Yes, the Paris Saint-Germain striker, and arguably Brazil's biggest celebrity. He's supporting Bolsonaro's bid for re-election. He can be seen flashing 22 in this video, which of course is Bolsonaro's candidate number. Take a look.
Vota, vota e confirma 22 é Bolsonaro. Vota, vota e confirma 22 é Bolsonaro. Vota, vota e confirma 22 é Bolsonaro. Vota, vota e confirma 22 é Bolsonaro.
The video is quite telling. It shows the kind of high-stakes battle that this election has turned into, where people from all walks of life, some of whom generally stay away out of the political fray at least, and they are now openly picking sides and naming their candidate. The question is, will such endorsements work? Will they help Bolsonaro win? Or will De Silva make a comeback? Well, we shall find out soon enough. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.